Zowie has finally graced us with wireless models of some of their most popular shapes, but are they all they're cracked up to be? Can Zowie finally reclaim the top spot in the gaming mice world? Let's talk about it. Zowie is known for making top tier competitive gaming mice. At a time when even the biggest companies suffered from quality control issues and even like sensor issues, Zowie was king. But over the years, they've sort of drifted towards the middle range. And if you talk to any gamer who frequents Reddit too much, you'll find that people think Zowie just isn't what they were. But that changes today, or I guess technically a few days ago, when Zowie announced three brand new wireless gaming mice in the EC1, the EC2, and the EC3. Now, if you're familiar at all with Zowie, this is pretty easy to break down. The EC is their ergo shape, and they're going to offer a large, a medium, and a small. The EC1 being the largest, the EC3 being the smallest. Now, ergo shapes really aren't anything new, but I don't think I'd be out of line by saying that Zowie is known for what is essentially their perfect shapes, and they're pretty often imitated. Now, the shapes are staying the exact same, but there are some minor differences, the first being an updated skate design. We're not getting the same giant front and back skates that we've seen on most Zowie mice. Instead, you get two small skates at the front, and at the back, what appears to be the exact same skate as their other EC series, but it's kind of hard to tell. It looks the same. So if you've stocked up on, say, Hyperglides for your EC1, you'll likely have to purchase new skates. The other big change is a small transmitter at the front of the mouse to allow for a clear wireless signal to be transmitted from the mouse, but it doesn't look like it's going to affect grip in any way. Now, other than those two changes, the mice basically look the same, save for the charging port in front where the cable used to be. That's pretty good, and I think we can all agree that it's really nice when companies keep the shapes the same. We are getting updated weights. So originally the EC1 was at 97 grams, the EC2 being about 90 grams, and the EC3 weighing in at about 70 grams. Now, this is where things get sort of interesting. The EC3 wireless is coming in at 76 grams, the EC2 is 77 grams, and the wireless EC1 being 79 grams. It's worth noting that between the original EC series release and these wireless versions, Zowie did release lighter weight versions, but the point being is that Zowie isn't going for those ultra light weights that a lot of other companies are going for, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But I think the point is that Zowie really isn't interested in playing the race to the lightest gaming mouse. So we've got wireless, and we've got an updated weight. And we're also getting an updated sensor with the 3370. Now, technically speaking, this is an upgrade coming from the wired versions, but the 3370 isn't exactly a brand new sensor. Most flagship mice these days have moved on from this sensor and are starting to use the 3395. Now, it's not a bad sensor, it's actually a very good sensor. And just because there's a new one doesn't mean that the older 3370s are bad. We're sort of past that point where we're getting bad sensors at all, but not everybody is happy about this. And spending any time on Reddit will tell you that people have been left scratching their heads. And I'm curious, but I think I have an idea as to why they went with the 3370. Now, for charging, thankfully, we have what appears to be USB-C, and that's great. But the mouse comes standard with a quite hefty wireless dongle that seems to double as a wireless docking station, which I find a bit strange if the dock is standard in the box, and I don't think they're offering versions of this mouse that sell without the dock. I would have thought they would have bypassed the charging port altogether, but if I had to guess, I'm assuming this is so if you're in a tournament situation or if you're a pro and you just don't want to use a wireless mouse, but you want the updated weight, you have the option to go wired. So an updated classic Zowie shape, a great quality mouse from a brand that's known for their quality at a price of $149. And now this is where people are starting to take a lot of issue. $149 is flagship pricing, and it's nothing new. The G Pro Superlight has a MSRP of, I think, $149, and the Viper V2 Pro also has an MSRP of $149. But they usually both can be found for cheaper. I think right now on Amazon, the Viper V2 Pro is like $120, and I think it's something Similar for the G Pro X Superlight. "What was Zowie thinking?" was a comment I saw on Reddit. People are not thrilled about this pricing. Yes, you have companies like Razer and Logitech that are releasing mice at this price point, but even they don't keep those pricing models for very long. And generally speaking, you can find really amazing wireless gaming mice at much lower price points, at even $100 and even $80. But if I had to guess, it looks like Zowie is trying to cater to very specific players, the CSGO crowd, and specifically competitive CSGO players. Looking at gear breakdowns on ProSettings.net, you can see that Zowie is still ranked pretty high among CSGO players, while the same can't really be said looking at other games like Valorant or Overwatch or Fortnite. Now, yes, this doesn't account for other gear that they might have by these other brands in their setup, like keyboards or headsets. But I don't think it's any secret that CSGO pros, just by the virtue of the game that they're playing, don't really seem to have any interest in leaving their comfort zone. And that's okay. Me, personally, it's been quite a while since I picked up a Zowie mice, and I have no doubt that their wireless offerings are going to be really good. But will they be better than what's offered by other companies now? Competition is really tough, and Zowie would need to create something really special to win over the entire gaming community. But I don't really think that's what they're going for. I don't have any hands-on experience with this big boy dongle. Zowie claims this will help provide a high-quality, stable connection both at home and in the arena. They say it will decrease the chance of an unexpected transmission interference. Now, yes, 5 to 10 years ago, these kinds of issues with wireless mice kind of happened all the time, but I don't really think that's the case anymore. Being in a high-stakes gaming environment and having 5 to 10 people sitting directly around you who also might be using wireless gear might have some kind of effect on transmission. But if that was the case, I don't think we'd be seeing mice like the G Pro X Superlight and the Viper V2 Pro so prevalent in a competitive setting. But nevertheless, I am still incredibly excited to see wireless versions of some of the most popular shapes out there, the FK series and the F series being particular favorites of mine. So I will be keeping pretty close watch on what Zowie is doing in the near future. But let me know what you think. Do you think it's too little, too late? Do you think this large dongle will actually have an effect in a competitive setting? Do you think $149 is too much for a mouse that would be considered using an outdated sensor? Let me know, leave a comment. If you like this video, it would be awesome if you could click that thumbs up button, maybe hit that subscribe button so you can stay tuned for all of my upcoming videos. Thanks, and I will catch you guys in the next one.